So, great. So Bruce, Don, myself, Jack and Jean are all present. Sue is on Zoom. Um. First, are there any additions or amendments to the agenda? Anybody wants to make, suggest? No. It's okay.
So I just have a question. There were a couple of points that were missing, my opinion, from the minutes of our last meeting.
That you made.
So are they included?
So, yes, so I believe
And that's fine.
Jesse sent an updated minutes. Did everybody get to see those? That included your comment.
Okay, I got it. I'm working on other things.
Yeah. No.
Fine.
Yeah, okay. So then I was just gonna say, I moved to, accept the minutes from last meeting with Don's additions that Jesse sent earlier today. Second, all in favor? Aye. Excellent, pass. And I don't know if we need to do this but the proposed edits for the conditions of the DSUN resolution from last time, do we need to vote on something, or
They're in the minutes.
is it just, with it being in the minutes, is that acceptable
I think it's fine because
to everybody?
I don't know that we need to vote on it if you have to sign it, right? You're taking the responsibility for it. So
I guess so. I printed out the revisions that they sent back to us were revised and with comments, and so I could just, I guess, stamp it and sign this.
if
If everybody's okay with
We
that.
all are.
Yeah, okay,
Sure.
right, so we can do that. All right, then next item is public hearing on the Hammond minor subdivision. I move that we open the public hearing. Do I have a second? Second, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, is anybody here to speak on the Hammond subdivision?
Me,
Okay.
Kenneth Hammond.
Yep, yeah, if you wanna. Give us a
Yeah, I
little
believe
overview
that, all the corrections were made to the map that you requested. And I think all the paperwork is in that I talked with the code officer about. And, yeah, I just was hoping we get it all taken care of tonight.
Okay. Any other people that want to comment during public hearing? Anybody online?
I'll see you real quick.
Not seeing anyone.
I just had a question about the development units. So it's 3 development units, 3 lots, each allocated 1 unit. I just wanted to be sure that that's on the map and everyone knows that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I move that we close the public hearing. Do I have a second? Second, all in favor? Aye. Jean abstains.
Oh, my.
Excellent. All right, public hearing is closed. Any questions, any additional questions or comments before we go through seeker part 2 for the project?
Nope.
No? Okay. Then, I figure we just go through a checklist of part 2, and then we can cross that off the list. Will the proposed action create material conflict with adopted land use plan or zoning regulations? No impact. Will the proposed action result in change in use or intensity of use of land? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No. Will the proposed action have an impact on environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environmental area? No. Will the proposed action result in adverse change in the existing level of traffic or affect existing infrastructure of mass transit, biking, or walkway? No. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonably available energy conservation and renewable energy opportunities. No. Will the proposed action impact existing public or private water supplies, public or private water treatment utilities? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in natural resources? No. Will the proposed action result in an increase in potential for erosion, flooding, drainage, or drainage problems? No. And will the proposed action create a hazard to environmental resources or human health? No. Any questions or comments on that?
Bob Ray's on the meeting now,
Okay,
just pointing it out, he just came in.
okay. So I move that we declare negative declaration of seeker for this project. So do I have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes, so I will sign and date part 3 in the meeting. Any other questions, comments, concerns about the subdivision?
No, I'd offer a resolution.
Okay,
Okay, and I did make some typos in the tax map parcel, so note what I say. Whereas the Town of Caroline Review Board has held a public hearing on a minor subdivision on a parcel on Blackman Hill Road. Tax map parcel 20.1-1327. Which is what's on the map. At 7 p.m. on February 4th, 2025. And whereas the review board has reviewed the information from the public hearing and all of the materials submitted by the applicant and the finished survey map, as well as the section 239 review from the county. Am I correct in that? I am, yes. From the Tompkins County Planning, and has found that the materials are complete. Therefore, be it resolved, the review board approves the minor subdivision request of Mr. Kenneth J. Hammond, who is assigning 1 development unit to each of the 3 new parcels, and that the subdivision plat has been approved by the Town of Caroline Review Board on February 4th, 2025, with the following information not included in the review. That is proposed use for each lot, proposed location of any structures, septic permit, water supply information, and driveway locations.
Second.
excellent, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, project approved. Well, I'll do it in a minute.
Checklist,
What?
Yay.
I discovered.
Stamp things?
You get to do the lot line adjustments, so, yeah, you just figure it out.
Wait, I have to do lot line adjustments, but Jesse can do subdivisions.
Right, that's what the
That doesn't make any
so,
sense.
yeah, we can
Okay,
align them.
okay,
I agree.
okay. Okay, let's move on to Van Leer lot line adjustments. Which is this project here, you guys want me to move that one? Do you want to come up and just explain to everybody while they're here? Now that everybody's here?
I get one back up just to mine. real quick.
Yeah, sure, yeah,
So we're all set.
yep.
And so you don't stamp it now today? Jesse
I
has
will.
to do it, or you will?
No, I will, I can, yeah.
Okay. No, I just
If
stick
you don't
around.
mind waiting a couple of minutes, I'll.
No, I'll just stick around.
Because it's really interesting.
No, no problem.
Yeah, I just want to make sure, I'll stamp that, and they don't have to take part 2 or part 3
No,
to
that's for the
the
town.
county, right?
That's
Just
the
for
town.
county, or town
No.
records.
The seekers for the town.
Yeah. Okay. You want to explain the lot? So the line is the one with the jagged,
Yep, so this is the buyer's property. This as of right now, from here over is my 76 acres. So that little Z thing is, the surveyor who's here, Ian, when he drew the map, this indicates that this is the, line which will cease to be the line between us. We're just taking this line and dragging it here, and this is where the new property line is. So this 16 acres right now is mine, and it's about to become the buyer's. We're just moving the boundary.
Any questions? Concerns?
Nope, I have a resolution. Then is that, there we are?
Yeah, we don't have to do seeker or public hearing or anything for lot line adjustments, so.
Okay. Whereas the Town of Caroline Review Board has held we didn't hold a public hearing, so I'm gonna get rid of that. We didn't have. did we have a public-
No, didn't need it, no.
Whereas the Town of Caroline Review Board has reviewed the tax map parcel 25-1-2.429. Hope that's the right number. I think it is. At 7 p.m. on February 4th, and whereas the review board has reviewed the information and all the materials submitted by the applicant and the finished survey map and will retain all
Yeah,
and Mr. Van Leer will retain all the conservation units.
No, one is, and it's on the map,
Yeah.
one is
Ah.
going with
there's
it.
one here.
And one conservation unit
Yep.
will go to the new buyer.
Correct.
Therefore, be it resolved that the review board approves the minor subdivision request of Mr. James Van Leer, who is selling the parcel to Mary and Thomas Ferretti, and that the subdivision plat has been approved by the Town of Caroline Review Board on February 4th, 2025, with the following information not included in the review. A proposed use for each lot, proposed location of any structures, septic permit, water supply information, and driveway locations.
I'll second that, but I would like to make one correction.
Sure.
I think the lot number, parcel number is 25.-1-2.422.
-422, okay. Thank you.
So you have a second.
Okay, thanks.
Excellent, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Pass. Thank you.
You're good.
You're good.
And-
Let me,
Can I get these stamped? There's five.
we should only need one.
As I understand it, it might be a good idea to get more than one of them stamped though, right?
Okey doke.
Commons clerk's office requires two,
Interesting.
And I'd like to have one.
and that has to go to the assessment department before it can go to the clerk's office. And being the large maps, sometimes they keep one as well.
Interesting.
I always.
Yeah, something here.
Because it's a large map, sometimes some of the towns keep one as well.
That's why I was glad you had the stamp.
Yeah, I'll just,
Large, and
I'm cheap. I'll just keep.
once they get recorded, how many clerks are there?
How many copies do we?
We've asked for three, so one for
Stamp?
the, what's that?
Re-stamped?
Yeah, so
Oh, well, it just needs to be,
just,
it needs to start being clear to the applicants how many stamped, and me, to be honest, how many stamped copies we need total. Because in the past, I've done one or two.
and we've copied them, but it's,
Can I get copies of the Hammond one too?
Yeah.
Five little.
Yeah, so I can
how big
stamp
they are.
those.
Pretty big one when we get.
that's not the thing.
This is just more.
Okay.
I've been working for use, writing things with a group of people.
So,
and it
yeah,
just
we're
made
gonna,
me terrified.
it sounds like the town's gonna need one or two of those.
It's two, it sounds like, and maybe
Yeah.
three altogether. How many might have to
Mountains
give
and
one to the
mountains.
town and?
If you wanna give one to the town and you have four more that are stamped. You should be good.
Am I supposed to leave one of these with you?
If they want.
At least
Great.
one.
Okay, sorry.
Okay. Thank you. Great.
Yeah,
Thanks, Jim.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah,
Want another copy?
So, do you have one? Four of these? Yeah, that'd be great. 'Cause then you can have those for,
Ready?
and we'll
Keep that one.
keep this one for the town.
Alright. Beautiful. So we got them all set as well.
Yeah,
So those are the two
You guys have the good
counties.
rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
And you have to stay for the rest.
It's your penance. Do we have, so as far as the Tubbs lot line, do we have a representative? Anybody for the Tubbs lot line? No?
maybe, maybe Bob?
I don't know, so, I mean, Bob sent us the information today, people get a chance to take a look at it.
Uh-huh.
Seemed pretty straightforward to me,
Thanks again. Yeah, be in touch.
Application, and then it was, it was a little parcel B to be conveyed to the neighbor. I don't know, I guess we could,
Straight to the attorneys and then the attorney.
are there any questions? I mean, does anybody have any questions or concerns about it? We would have to have the actual survey here
You just, yeah,
to stamp it, but
But
we
you
could,
could-
we could probably approve it without.
so this parcel is too small to be developing in this site. Right, I
What's the size of it?
think it's 0.2 acres,
Yeah, it's not worth worrying about, yeah.
so then we don't have to do anything with it,
Okay.
because it's not a subdivision, it's a lot line adjustment. Even though the last lot line adjustment did have the development, but they went with it.
Then I'm just curious in general, what benefit are they getting out of doing this? What are they moving it for? If they're
The lot, sometimes it's like in that case, it's the neighbors, like they would,
Just to give them the
it's
space.
to basically sell some, sell a little bit more space, so.
Yeah, they wanted to like do something in their backyard that,
So this is your backyard now, not mine.
yeah.
Where did you see the size of the person?
It's,
Is it in the note?
it's in the notes,
You should end up with one.
Up top, the parcel B,
so no, it's at the top parcel.
Oh, it's at the top, oh, okay, I was looking at the bottom.
That was all those stamps, my stamp, house stamp, county stamp. State goes to the clerk's office.
Okay.
So
I don't,
I didn't write a
Big,
resolution, but I could make one if we can do this tonight.
how big is that to
So
be?
Yeah.
similar to the last lot.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
divide the total like 3 so it's like.
Like, you can't divide that.
And it's so much less than 3. It's not gonna make
Yeah,
a
okay,
difference, though.
right.
so, Jesse, I will say a resolution and then I will send it to you in email. So you'll know what it is, so you don't feel like you have to copy it down.
Yeah, it's valid, so.
Okay, so I'm gonna say for the Tubbs lot line adjustment, whereas the Town of Caroline Review Board reviewed the property tax map number 24-1, 24.-1-6.42. On Cottington Road. And whereas the review board has reviewed the information and all the materials submitted by the applicant and the finished survey map. Did this have a 239 review?
No,
No.
Doesn't need it.
So we're getting rid of that and has found that the materials are complete. Therefore, be it resolved, the review board approves the it's just a lot line adjustment request of Mr. Tubbs, who is selling parcel B to the owners of parcel C.
Or transfer.
We're transferring it to parcel C. That has been approved by the Town of Caroline Review Board on February 4th with the following information not included in the review. Proposed use for each lot, proposed location of any structures, septic permit, water supply information, and driveway locations. And I will add that no development units are being changed by this.
Second the resolution,
I second the resolution. Or you just seconded it.
or I was, yeah.
Oh, I thought you were asking.
It's true, I have asked, so, all in favor?
Aye.
Excellent.
What efficiency today from the review board?
I love it.
Do we have anything for next month so far?
I don't know, I was just gonna ask Bob, if Bob, oh, are you still on?
And I,
Yep, just took me a while.
Yeah, no worries, is there anything else that you've seen come through the office that we might need to look at for next month?
Next month, you'll probably have another lot line review. Yes.
Great, so we'll all get together for a meeting for a 5-minute lot line review.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry.
I live down the street. I don't know.
It's all right, I'll just keep reminding Mark how ridiculous that is.
let's get a major subdivision, and that's what we said.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good, thanks, Bob.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
I have one thing I'd like to bring up, not that we have to act on it, because I don't think we can. But last meeting that I missed, in early January, this was for the Brown subdivision.
right,
And Mr. Brown was here and all of a sudden he won the lottery
Mhm.
on development units. And I think that the review board is not your fault, because I think you were giving this the wrong information. I believe that the part of the land that had been given to the land trust, it happened before the zoning law was adopted. So I don't believe those development units should have been assigned to the remaining parcel. So, so now that it's been done, I don't think there's anything to do about it, but I'm hoping going forward that who's ever giving advice to the code officer understands where we were at the time of the zoning law was adopted and doesn't make things up.
okay. So this would apply to anybody who had made like a gift. Mr. Brown's
So that
family,
that conservation easement or whatever it's called.
Right.
To do it, happened before he adopted law, so those development units are not available, they're gone.
But it's an easement, it's not giving the land away, like he still owns that land,
But he can't develop it.
but he,
Yeah,
so you're saying any easement
if it's in.
that's
if it-
restricting.
So he was talking about subdividing the land that was not part of that easement.
Right, yeah,
Those are the development units are with that subdivided land.
I guess
That's how I would, if I had a conservation easement, the last thing I'd wanna do is have 15 development units sitting on this parcel right next to me. That doesn't make any sense. That's not what he intended.
well, except that is the intention of some conservation easements. Is
But that's, so
to,
it could be.
is
but
the
that-
cluster, is
But
the
that
cluster
conservation
development.
easement was done before the zoning law. was
Yeah,
adopted.
I
So he
understand.
wasn't trying to create development units because of the zoning law. He
I-
didn't know that they existed.
Yeah, I mean, I agree, I just don't know. I don't know if it's that clear cut as far as,
Well,
I mean,
apparently it's not clear.
Right, yeah.
But I think we need a broader discussion with the person who owns the parcel. Because when he was sitting there on the screen, he was like, I just want the lottery.
Yeah.
He had no idea he had all these development units.
I think it's
Right.
probably also a legal question that we should ask. an attorney.
well,
Yeah.
the separation of, I mean, ideally moving forward, the separation of the development units should be all dealt with before it even comes before
I
us.
couldn't
Right.
agree.
So if it's an ambiguous or gray area, especially a legal question, then the code officer and Mark and whoever else should, maybe Guy gets involved, but that should be all hashed out and then brought to us as this is the proposal.
Yeah, I
Couldn't
agree.
agree.
Okay,
It should not have been on our plate.
Yeah, it was confusing.
right, yeah, I agree.
And could it be a question? Um, I couldn't agree more that it would be very beneficial to have it clarified how the conservation easement property is handled. And once it's clarified legally, could it be added to somehow in the description of our zoning law, how such parcels are handled, so it's clear to everybody going forward?
Right, yeah, ideally, yeah.
I would just make the comment that everything we received today had the development units on it.
Right,
It was
yeah,
exactly what we were hoping
Perfect.
for.
yep, it's great. And look at how smoothly it all went, and there was no,
Case them.
yeah.
Did we?
Well, there wasn't discussion or endless questioning of. Are we doing this, it's part of the conversation with the applicant about. How many development rights or units do you want? What are development units? Well, they're, okay,
When we finished with that one, the one where Don wasn't there, did we? I'm wondering if there was any space left over on that place for him to pack all those development units into, because I think we did sort of divvy up his land already, didn't he already? And sort of set it up the way he was going to? Is there a place for him to actually put his lottery winnings, I guess is my question.
Yeah,
There was more room.
Hotel.
yeah. Probably not.
They're moving Grossman's.
You wanna revoke those, right?
To answer your question, like just because we're a rural community, you have to have enough room for a well and septic, which kind of limits it to, you have to have a minimum of like. At least probably 3/4 of an acre.
I thought he chunked it. I thought he made it in pretty distinct chunks.
He did, but in theory, that could be chunked up even more.
I see. Then we could take those and turn this 3-acre lot into 15 development units because he's got all of those handy.
Or we could put in townhouses.
But then, so the principle, because I wasn't here for this debate, so the principle is let's say he puts 10 on those 3 acres and then he gives it to his kids and dies. His kids cannot touch that now. That is forever the way it is, right? That 10 development units he put on there is in perpetuity.
Well, they could be, no,
If they subdivide it, then they can move them around.
they could subdivide it
Within that
into acres, 3-acre lots.
Within that,
And five units per.
but let's say he gave that whole thing to his kids, they couldn't then take those 3-acre lots and make one big 9-acre, they couldn't then, they could keep subdividing it, but they couldn't bring it all back together.
Oh,
If somebody
They
were to take
could.
ownership, it'd be a lot like.
they could,
They could. with-
they could bring it back
keeping
together,
the same development. unit.
But, okay,
yeah.
well, you
It's
learn
not-
something new every day.
It's not usually how it happens.
Yeah,
Usually they're divided.
to sell
over.
it.
But if somebody wanted to come along and buy them all and
Put 'em all back,
consolidate them
yeah.
into one, then you would have the many development
Interesting.
theory.
And they said this was gonna be a boring job.
Who said this is-
It wasn't all those people that sat out there where they were talking about adopting the zoning law.
No.
They never said it.
Is there any other business we wanna cover, or can we adjourn the meeting?
I guess the takeaway we have from my email chain is, I gotta go tell the Slaterville people that the answer to their problem is go talk to the Speedsville people, right?
And I would, yeah, that they should
Yes.
definitely be talking to them.
That's if they're, but
Yeah,
to
they should
explain to
definitely-
their concerns, if the thing that's gonna get signed off on is by the Speedsville chief, so if you wanna get this stuff in writing, it's gonna be through the Speedsville guy, so go talk to him.
Exactly.
Right,
Okay,
So we don't need to tell D-Sun that they need to contact all the local fire companies.
we could have a week ago, that's what I told, that's what I said to them.
yes, in the future, we should be more broad with that. Sort
Well, all of the fire
condition.
departments have, what do you call them?
trucks.
See, you have mutual aid agreements.
Right, well, that, so that,
There's a county.
but that's their point, that's their
Exactly.
point, Gene, is that because they're mutual aid agreements, they're all obligated to come, so they're stakeholders, they're shareholders. They need to be involved.
So they should, so to me also what that means is that any fire department that's doing this should be consulted.
But they're not gonna, because they're fire chiefs and they're territorial as all hell, so that's recorded, I want that on the record. They're fire, I mean, they're fiefdoms, and so they're not gonna be that way, and so I think we have to do that
Yeah,
for them.
Alright,
Well, that was real interesting, in the statement that they said that the turnaround wasn't big enough.
Yeah, well, it's never gonna be big enough, so we could give them one the size of the moon, and he's gonna say, I can't
and
turn around.
there's building code that regulates all the turnaround
Yeah.
sizes and distances and widths
Yeah.
and all that kind of stuff. And it's not our job to enforce the building code, it's the code officer's job. Or the fire authority, which in this town might be a combination of the fire chief and the code officer. So there's that.
I was in a bus once, like 50 passengers that couldn't get by something and it decided to back up and it backed over a Lamborghini.
Ugh. That's,
Well, they are pretty low.
they're very low.
And they couldn't see it and
Yeah.
because it pulled right up behind it and it started to back up and.
That's why you
In
could.
Caroline?
No. It was in Westchester.
Yeah.
But I have seen Lamborghinis in Ithaca.
Yeah.
Most of
The only
them,
Lamborghini in Caroline I know is the Yaples Rototiller. So it was an old Lamborghini Rototiller.
That's cool. That's very cool, actually.
Love it.
Yeah.
I saw an undergraduate college student driving a Lamborghini once in Ithaca.
Yeah,
And I was like,
that does not surprise me.
wow. Like, what is it that your parents are saying to you if they give you a Lamborghini? Like, go kill yourself?
Yeah,
Kids up jumping off the bridge or swimming.
right, yeah, he's a crypto billionaire.
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Okay.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Maybe they wanted to hit a wall, 150 miles an
It's
hour.
like,
Thank you, Sue.
it was a beautiful
Oh,
car.
thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
I mean, I would love to have a beautiful car, but I think my third of a mile long driveway says to me, no,
No, you can't.
I can't have a beautiful
And
car.
in Clemson, if you saw a car like that, it was a football player. That's how you name it.
When I worked there. Good night.
Good night.
When I was members of Congress, one of my favorite jobs was interviewing kids who wanted to go to the service academies.
Oh, yeah.
Mostly were like, just like, you would vote for them for president.
Oh, I know.
They were just.
I worked at West Point for 3 years, and they were the smartest kids I've ever been
Yeah,
around. They were
they
so
were
much
great.
fun.
So most of the kids were like that. And then you'd have a kid who would come in who's like, his head went like from here out to his shoulders, he had like no neck. His neck. And you would say, so, why do you want to go to the service academy? And he would say, coach sent me. And
Yeah,
he would answer every question by saying, coach sent me.
Yep.
I was like,
and,
wow.
that got them into West Point.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Exactly so.
I worked for their football team specifically.
Ah,
The smartest football players you've ever been around too.
Yeah, I did that. I had an appointment to West Point, but I didn't go.
that was,
Yeah, I'm not sure that was, they
Not a
do
good decision.
really well. They do really
I
well.
was young and dumb.
They do really well.
What?
I used
in
to,
the meeting here.
I used to really like that part of my job. It was very fun.
Yeah, they're really smart kids.
Bye-bye.
I mean, the ones we had. the last couple of years.
Yeah, I think.